Adaeze had waited 9 months to hold her baby, dreaming of tiny fingers and perfect little toes. But when she first saw her newborn son, her heart stopped. There, glowing faintly on his forehead, was the same mysterious mark that had appeared on every baby born in Ukwu village for the past year. The midwives tried to comfort her, saying it was just a birthmark, but Adaeze knew better. She had heard the whispers, seen the fear in other mothers' eyes. Something was claiming the children of Ukwu, and her baby was next. Ukwu village had been a peaceful place for centuries. Nestled between green hills, this small village lived a simple and secure life. Families farmed the land, children climbed trees, and elders told stories around the evening fire. The most beautiful moment in this village was when a new baby was born. The entire village would gather to celebrate the new life. A year ago, a shadow had fallen over this tradition. The first baby was Emeka, son of Shinyere. When the midwives cleaned the child, they noticed something strange on his forehead. A crescent-shaped mark, perfect as if expertly carved. At first it looked like just an ordinary birthmark. "This will fade," said the head midwife, Mama Adana. "Some children are born with marks. This is just one of them." But the mark didn't fade. Instead, it became more pronounced with each passing day. At midnight, it seemed to glow with an inner light. The second baby was born a month later. Ngozi, daughter of Obiageli, came into the world with the same mark in the same place, just like Emeka. This time, worried whispers began. "Two babies? Same mark. This cannot be coincidence." When the third baby arrived, Ukwu village was already on high alert. Kelechi, son of Adaku, also bore the same crescent mark. Same place, same size, same shape. When the fourth and fifth babies were born, the village erupted in panic. Each new birth confirmed the same terrifying truth. Every baby born in Ukwu village carried the same mysterious mark. When Adaeze learned she was pregnant, she had already noticed the change in the village. Mothers who used to be cheerful now looked worried. Baby births had become a source of anxiety rather than celebration. Her husband Ikechukwu tried to comfort her. "Adaeze, don't worry. Maybe this mark is a good thing. Maybe our children are specially chosen ones." But Adaeze's heart was not at ease. Every night she would place her hand on her belly and talk to her baby. "Little one, please come into the world normal. Come healthy, without marks." In the final months of her pregnancy, strange things began happening in the village. At midnight, pregnant women started having peculiar dreams. They all had the same dream, a crescent-shaped mark glowing in silver light, slowly descending from the sky to rest on babies' foreheads. The first night Adaeze had this dream, she woke up in a cold sweat. The baby in her womb was kicking more than usual, as if he too had seen the dream. "Ikechukwu," she whispered, waking her husband. "Something is happening. The baby can feel this." Ikechukwu held his wife's hand. "Stay calm, Adaeze. Everything will be fine." But everything was not fine. The village elders had started holding meetings. Young mothers were afraid to let their children leave home, and everyone was asking the same question. What did this mark mean? When Adaeze's time came, the village's most experienced midwives gathered around her. Mama Adana, Mama Ifeoma, and Mama Chioma were women who had assisted dozens of births. But that night they were all anxious. "This baby might be different," Mama Adana whispered to the others. "Maybe it won't carry the mark." The birth was difficult. Adaeze labored for hours, covered in sweat and tears. Outside, Ikechukwu and the villagers waited anxiously. At midnight, bells rang through the village. A boy had been born, but there were no cries of joy. When Mama Adana took the baby, her heart began pounding. There on his forehead, in the same place as the other babies, the perfect crescent mark was glowing. "Adaeze," the midwife's voice trembled. "Your baby is healthy and strong, but..." Despite her exhaustion, Adaeze sat up. "But what?" "Show me my baby." When the midwife handed the baby to Adaeze, the mother saw her son's face for the first time. A beautiful, perfect baby, with the mysterious mark on his forehead. Adaeze didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply took her son in her arms silently and examined the mark. It emanated a cold light, as if it came from another world. "My son," she whispered, "you too came into the world marked." At that moment, a strange voice entered Adaeze's mind. Not words, but a clear message. "You are the chosen one, little one. You have been marked for a great purpose." Adaeze held her baby tightly. "Who are you? What are you doing to my child?" But the voice didn't answer. Only a distant scream was heard from outside the village. Then everything fell silent. The next morning, news spread through the village that Adaeze's baby had also been born marked. This was the sixth marked baby. Now everyone had to face the truth. No normal baby would be born in Ukwu village. An emergency meeting was held in the village square. Elders, young couples, pregnant women. Everyone had gathered. Chief Elder Mazi Okoye stood up. Brothers and sisters, we must now face reality. Something is marking our children. We must learn what this mark means. Who is doing it? Chinyere, one of the young mothers, stood up. My son Emeka is only 1 year old, but he cries every night. It's as if something is calling him. Are the other marked children doing the same? The other mothers nodded. Yes, all the marked babies were crying at the same hours, in the same way. So what will happen as this mark grows? Asked one of the pregnant women. Will our children return to normal or what? Asked another mother. Or will whoever is taking them come and get them? These words created a deep silence in the village. The same fear was passing through everyone's mind. What if this mark was a certificate of ownership? What if some power had chosen and marked the children for itself? Mazi Okoye decided to consult ancient knowledge. I will research our ancestors' stories. Perhaps something similar has happened in the past. Mazi Okoye spent days examining old parchments and ancestral stories. Finally, he found a clue in a very old tale. Centuries ago, a similar event had occurred in a nearby village. There too, all babies had started being born with mysterious marks. According to the story, when these children grew up, they developed special powers. They could see the future, heal diseases, communicate with spirits. But the continuation of the story was frightening. These powerful children had begun to be controlled by a dark entity. The villagers had fought great battles to protect their children. When Mazi Okoye returned to the village, he shared his findings. The mark may be making our children special, but this specialness also puts them in danger. Adaeze held her son Chima tightly. So what will we do? How will we protect our children? We will stay together, said Mazi Okoye. We will not leave the marked children alone. We will protect them. As months passed, the marked babies began to grow, and the story Mazi Okoye had found began to prove true. The children exhibited behaviors different from normal babies. Emeka, even before he could speak, would point to sick people, and they would recover within a few days. Ngozi would look at the stars at night, making strange sounds, and when her mother found her like that in the morning, beautiful things would happen in the village that day. Adaeze's son Chima, when he was only a few months old, would reach out and touch his mother's face when she was sad, and Adaeze would immediately feel relieved. These children are truly special, said Mama Adana one day. Maybe we misunderstood. Maybe this mark is not a curse, but a blessing. But the peace didn't last long. One night, strange sounds began coming from outside the village. Drum sounds, hymn-like songs, but in a language they had never heard. And the marked children woke up at the same time and started crying. As Adaeze tried to soothe her son, she noticed that the mark on Chima's forehead was glowing brighter than usual. It was as if the sounds outside were calling him. Ikechukwu, she shouted. Something is happening. When the villagers went outside, they were confronted with a terrifying sight. Figures in long black cloaks had surrounded the village. Their faces were not visible, but they held glowing crescent-shaped objects in their hands. One of the figures stepped forward and spoke. His voice was metallic and echoing. Bring the marked children. Their time has come. Mazi Okoye courageously stepped forward. Who are you? What do you want from our children? We are the crescent guardians. We chose these children long ago. They will fulfill a great mission for us. What mission? Asked Adaeze, holding her son tightly. The gates between this world and the other world are opening. The marked children will guard these gates. Without them, dark forces will invade this world. The villagers looked at each other. This was a great responsibility, but they didn't want to give up their children. What if we refuse? Asked Ikechukwu. The Crescent Guardian's voice grew cold. Then both the children and your village will perish. The choice is yours. That night, all the mothers of marked children secretly gathered. Adaeze, Chinyere, Obiageli, Adaku, and the others. They all shared the same fear. We cannot give our children, said Adaeze. They're still babies. But if we don't, the village will be destroyed, replied Chinyere. There must be another way, said Obiageli. If these Crescent Guardians want our children, there's a reason. Maybe we can negotiate with them. Adaeze stood up. I cannot send my son away, but if he truly has a great mission, I will prepare him. Here, with us. The other mothers agreed. They wouldn't give their children away, but they would prepare them for their duties. The next night, the Crescent Guardians came again. This time only Adaeze came out to speak with them. Her son Chima was in her arms, the mark on his forehead glowing. "We have come to take your child," said the guardian. "No," said Adaeze firmly, "but I have a proposal for you." The guardian stopped. "We are listening." "You don't need to take our children away. Train them here with their families, teach them their duties, but let them stay in their homes." The guardian was silent for a long time. Then he spoke with other guardians in a secret language. "This is not possible. The training must be done in another dimension. Then we will come too," said Adaeze. "All the families. We will not leave our children alone." The guardian was surprised by this bold proposal. "The entire village? We will do anything for our children." The guardians had long discussions among themselves in the face of this unexpected situation. Finally, they made a decision. "We accept, but we have conditions. The children will live normal lives until they are 10 years old. After 10, their training will begin. And during training, families can be with them." The villagers accepted this agreement. It was dangerous, but it was a way to protect their children. Years passed. The marked children grew up, played, laughed, and learned like normal children. But when they turned 10, their special training began. Emeka learned to see the future. Ngozi learned to communicate with spirits. Chima learned to heal sick people. Each child developed a different ability, and great changes occurred in the village. Diseases decreased, agriculture became productive, peace was established with neighboring villages. The marked children were truly bringing great benefits to the village. When the children reached 15, the expected danger materialized. Dark forces began infiltrating the world. Night creatures, evil spirits, dark energies that made people sick. The marked children, now young adults, took on their duties. With their families' support, they began protecting the village and its surroundings. Adaeze watched her son Chima go to battle. He was now a strong young man, the mark on his forehead glowing with great power. "Be careful, my son," she said. "You are everything to me." Chima hugged his mother. "Mother, we will win this war, but without your love, I couldn't have developed these powers." The battle was tough. The dark forces were powerful, but the unity of the marked children and their families' support were stronger. In the end, they won. When the war ended, the Crescent Guardians came to the village one last time, this time in peace. "You have successfully completed your mission," said the Guardian leader. "Your children are now free. They can live whatever life they choose." Adaeze asked, "What about the marks?" "The powers will continue, but there's no longer an obligation. If they want, they can use their powers. If they want, they can live normal lives." Most of the children chose to use their powers to help the village. Chima became a healer, helping people with his healing power. Emeka helped with village planning with his future sight. Ngozi became a spiritual guide. And Ukwu village, thanks to its marked children, became the most peaceful, healthy, and happy village in the region. Years later, Adaeze had become an elderly grandmother. Her son Chima had married and had children, and not surprisingly, his children were also born marked. But this time there was no fear, because now they knew that this mark was not a curse, but a great responsibility and power. When Adaeze held her first grandchild in her arms, she saw the crescent mark on his forehead and smiled. "Welcome, little warrior," she whispered. "You too will have a great journey. But don't worry, we will always be with you." And in Ukwu village, the story of the marked children continued to be passed down from generation to generation. The story of how fear was overcome with love and unity, how mothers would risk everything for their children, and how sometimes our greatest fears can transform into our greatest blessings. The story of Adaeze and the marked children shows us that sometimes our greatest fears can become the source of our greatest strengths. A mother's love can overcome all kinds of evil, and when we stand united, we can overcome even seemingly impossible challenges. I hope this story of courage and family bonds has touched your hearts. If this story moved you, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring African stories. Remember, the greatest power lies in love and standing together. Until our next tale, trust in the power of your love.